You gotta shock the monkey.
Welcome, everybody, to the Review, a show where two small-town dudes give you our big, dumb opinions. I'm Troy to the max extreme.
I am JT3K.
And today we've got another flashback. Last episode we went over Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Exactly.
So we thought with that one, we're going to tie back to see what we thought of Kong Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island.
To see what they could have in store for us, ramping up to a King Kong vs. Godzilla movie.
They're gonna go head to head.
Oh boy, are they! $10 a seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Troy, you looking forward to this epic showdown coming up probably in like maybe 2 years?
I am optimistic.
Okay. Well, if you listen to our review of Godzilla King of Monsters, they throw a lot of shit at you.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see where they go from here now that they're going to include King Kong, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm curious of what I said in this review because I haven't gone back to listen to it.
I went back and listened to it, and you're a little downtrodden on it, mostly because of the music.
Okay. I think I know I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't want to. If you haven't listened to this one yet, I'm not going to spoil it so much. But it definitely has a different feeling than the Godzilla movies that it is playing against.
Yeah.
So hopefully you enjoy this review. Let us know what you thought of King Kong right into the show.
Kong Skull Island, you mean?
Yeah, Kong Skull Island. Sorry, I'm
your
always
problem?
just gonna call it King Kong. Kong Skull Island. Let us know what you think of this whole monster universe. Where's it leading up to? You a fan of this so far?
Look, I wasn't minding it, but now that they're getting really into the Japanese lore of it with King of Monsters, and they're diving so headfirst into it, I'm like, I think I would have liked this a lot more if they would have spaced out a little more.
Okay. I can see that.
So,
I can see that.
I'm curious to see where they go with it from here, but I'm not as excited as I was.
Okay. Fair enough. Fans, let us know what you think.
Let us know.
And enjoy this review from us for Kong Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island. Starting right now.
Kong Skull Island dropped on us this last weekend to a pretty nice $61 million box office opening weekend domestically. With a budget of $185 million worldwide so far as of the 15th. It's made $162.5 million. Still hasn't made its money back yet, but that's okay.
It's gonna make a fuck ton overseas.
Oh yeah, babe.
Especially because they have that Chinese distributor in there somewhere too.
Yeah, that's right. Also, with the controversy of Beauty and the Beast being pulled out of certain theaters because of certain gay characters, this might be ran unopposed coming in the next few weeks as well.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about that until just now. That's movie knowledge in my brain. How do you like that? Currently, IMDb has this at a 7.1%. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 79%.
Okay.
Our review coming at the end of our words. JT, do you want us... What's the plot of this movie? Give us a quick synopsis.
Okay. Well, John Goodman and a friend of his, I guess.
Yes.
They find this island that they believe have a bunch of creatures on it, and they approach a senator to go visit it, and he agrees to it, and they also bring along a military escort.
Yep.
Led by Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
And a tracker, who was played by Tom Hiddleston.
Yep.
And for some reason, a photographer.
That's right. Brie
Played
Larson.
by Brie Larson. And they all go to an island to go check out all the crazy shit that happens, and then there's a giant monkey that throws trees at them.
Right. Bada bing.
You got a Kong.
You got a Kong Skull Island. Yeah. Oh, excuse me, I'm thirsting. This Voodoo Ranger has got me all thirsty. It is good. Yeah, Kong Skull Island takes a little bit of a reprieve from the original kind of King Kong story that you see all the time, where it's they go to an island, they get Kong, they bring him back to America, climbs the Empire State Building, dies. Was it the beauty who killed the beast, or the beast who killed the beauty, or whatever the end of the line of the movie is?
That's a wonderful synopsis of every King Kong ever.
Listen, I like Peter Jackson's King Kong. It's a little overlong, but I really like it.
It's, I would say, a lot overlong, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I know it has faults, like weird CG brontosauruses, but
Yeah.
you can't tell me that that fucking Kong T-Rex fight isn't awesome.
It is badass.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me it was not awesome. Or whatever. So Kong Skull Island does take a break from that, where it doesn't go to America. It takes place all on the Skull Island.
In the colon of Skull Island?
Yes, it takes place right in the lower large intestine of Skull Island. You do get to meet the titular Kong, as well as a slew of other monsters that inhabit this island.
Yes.
As well as John C. Reilly? What's he doing there?
Oh, yeah. What are you doing here?
We'll get more into that as
As
we
I definitely got some things to say about John C. Reilly.
Same here. But other than that, it's got an overpacked cast, in my opinion.
Getting into the review already, H.
I'm just saying it's got a lot of people in here. Like,
Yeah.
even without, like, all the stars that we named, like, Sam Jackson, Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson,
Yeah.
John Goodman, who's the guy who played Doctor Doom in the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, him.
He's, like, the next tier actor in it.
Dear Billy.
Yeah. It's also got, like, 20... John C. Reilly, and then it's also got like 20 like soldiers in it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, there's so many things
There is a
going on.
lot of people in this.
So there's that. But they do a good job of breaking it up so not everybody's all together trying to share screen
Yeah,
time.
like they legit split them into two groups.
Yeah. So you have like an army group, and then you have like the adventurer group with like Brie Larson, Hiddleston,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of shit. And they're trying to meet each other, meeting with Kong in different ways, and the movie's action packed. I want to say,
Sure. Yeah.
it's got pretty good action in there. So if you
Yeah.
like to see monsters fighting monsters, you're in store, buddy.
Even the inclusion of the other creatures on the island were pretty interesting.
Yes. So I don't want to spoil too much right off the bat here, but I don't really want to talk anymore without spoiling anything.
Okay. I can give like a little synopsis of what I think without spoiling it.
All right, I'll do the same.
Okay. My thoughts on the movie is that it is like the definition of just like a fun, like this is like a definition of a blockbuster movie. Like I don't think there's a lot of thought that goes into it. There is like some thoughtful things in it, and I feel like it's an allegory towards something that I'll get into in the spoiler talks. But yeah, there's not like anything that really stuck out as like mind blowing to me. Like I feel like how you said there is a lot of fucking characters in this.
Yeah.
Where I feel like they really only follow the motivations of two characters in particular.
Yeah.
And like everyone else is just kind of following them. Even one I won't spoil who it is, but there's like a certain actor in here where it's like, for the longest time I was like, you know what? He's pretty good. And then it got to a point where I was like, oh man, maybe he's not as good as I thought he was. But we'll get into that like later.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it pretty much just follows the motivations of two different characters in this entire movie, and everyone else is just kind of blindly following these two people.
Yeah.
And yeah, as it goes on, like a lot of the more interesting stuff is Kong.
Yeah.
Like he's the driving force of the whole movie. There are other things in there that I did really like, but yeah, the Kong is the star of Kong, so
yeah.
I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add to your like spoiler free. Yeah, I agree with you completely.
Okay,
so let's dive into it. If you want to go see it, go for it.
Yeah, I'd say if you loved Jurassic World, like this is kind of like on the same par as Jurassic World.
Yeah, it's definitely similar to Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Personally, I liked one more than the other.
All right.
But we'll leave that to the spoiler review.
Okay. Fair enough.
I like how we're tiptoeing around it because we still haven't told each other what we think of the movie.
I know.
Yet.
I'm like trying to reach you so hard right now.
Okay, so spoilers from here on out.
Okay.
So Kong definitely is the best part of this movie.
Yeah.
He definitely shines.
Yeah.
And it is a departure from the last Kong that we saw from Peter Jackson's, where it was just a big gorilla.
Yeah.
This one is the regular Kong, stands upright.
Enormous. Yeah.
Definitely bigger than I think previous incarnations too. It's hard to gauge from like.
This is the largest. I was looking up information on it. This is the largest American portrayal of Kong. I think in. Like, when Japan made Kong versus Godzilla, I guess he was considered to be 149 feet tall in that. And I think he's like 108 feet tall in this.
Okay. They also do a thing in this, too, because this film is going hand in hand with Godzilla.
Yeah.
For the one that came out with Bryan Cranston in it.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be crossing over. And Godzilla was fucking massive in that.
They, para-dropped almost on top of him. He'd have to be massive.
Yeah. And so King Kong, rather, is not up to par yet with the size of that. But they do say that King Kong is still young in this movie. So, like, he has room to grow. Did you catch that?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I guess they did say that.
So I guess when they eventually
because his parents were just murdered not too long ago. They said.
Yeah, and this movie takes place in the 70s.
Yeah,
and so if they're going to film it in current time, which Godzilla was, he's got like 40, 50 years to age and maybe get bigger. I have a hard time thinking he's going to get as big as Godzilla, but maybe he'll be like smaller, more agile, and whatever. Who knows?
We'll
maybe
see.
they'll also downsize Godzilla.
I was going to ask you, do you feel like the tones matched?
Not fucking at all.
That's what I thought.
Like I liked the tone of Godzilla.
Yeah.
I thought the tone was all over the place in King Kong. Like they tried to.
I liked the tone of King Kong of Kong Skull Island. I said, I just didn't feel like it didn't match at all.
No, it. That's where I have like a hard time thinking what they're kind of really going for in this whole like. If they want to make a blended universe, then like make it a little closer. I mean, they can be different, but it just seemed like Kong. They were trying to take it serious. Then they had, like, really fucking wacky things going on. Like, just, like...
And there was, like, some action in there where, like, there were some things in there, like, action-wise that I really liked that they did. But, yeah, like, there was so many things they treated very nonchalant in this, where, like, if it was in the Godzilla movie, they would be, like, freaking the fuck out.
Yeah. Great action piece, though, was... the Kong versus, like, right as they get into Skull Island, and Kong fights all the helicopters in the beginning.
That's badass.
That was, I believe, the best action scene in the whole movie.
Yeah.
It was.
I would say that.
It was
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it.
Some of the camera work they do in there too, like the point of view. There's like one like point of view angle where like he grabs a camera or he grabs a helicopter, and like the camera like looks like it's like in the inside the helicopter, and you're like watching him pick it up and like hold it over his mouth, and like that was really fucking cool.
Yeah. So that was great. Like the end, like all the fights with the monsters are really great.
Yeah.
Some of the monster designs are really great. I liked, except for the skull, whatever they're called, skull crushers or
skull crawlers.
Yeah, I did not like those.
They were very mundane. Like they didn't like there wasn't anything about them where I was like they stick out. Like, they just looked like regular creatures.
And it just, their design didn't work for me. Like, they only had 2 legs.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like 2, like, hind legs and, like, an upper body. It was just, like, their body was a ball with legs on it and it had a head and a tail. It was just, like...
They looked like bats without wings.
Yeah, it just didn't work for me. I don't know. I didn't like it. And
yeah, and there's, like, so many creatures on, like... The Skull Island's kind of weird because, they have those skull crawlers where they're just, like, they look like these crazy, weird reptile things.
Yeah.
And then, like, everything else on the island is kind of, like, blends in with its environment.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I kind of liked about it. Like, every creature they kind of came across, like, they didn't really know they were encountering a creature until it was, like, too late.
Right on top of it.
Yeah.
Or it was right on top of them.
Yeah. Yeah, like, that bamboo spider was so fucking cool.
Yeah. Oh,
like, the way they introduce it, where it's like, oh my god, this scene is way more violent than it needs to be.
When that leg goes
right through the dude's mouth into the ground, and he's like skewered there. You're like, Jesus Christ!
I thought that was really cool. I like that big, huge stick insect creature, but it was a log. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, like they introduced like the yak, like that yak thing is like the sympathy. Like they show like a skull crawler killing one. You're like, oh, fuck those guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the nice animal.
That's the nice guy. That's the nice animal.
Yeah. I could have actually used more creatures in this movie, actually.
Yeah.
Because it just seems like they were so, like, sparse, and you only see, like, one at a time.
Yeah.
That, like, you either see Kong, a skull crawler, or, like, the stick insect, but it's all just one at a time. It never feel like the island is full with anything.
I know? Yeah. I got that, too. Like, usually when I watch like movies like this, I always compare it to Jurassic Park and like the wonder and awe that I had when I saw that.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because I'm just older now, but I never got that feeling watching this.
Yeah.
Like they pulled into the island and then they got attacked by Kong right away. So I never really got that idea of like this is a big full island full of crazy shit.
Right.
Or like in Jurassic Park when they're pulling in and they're like sweeping through the island and they're dropping down on this waterfall, and it's like you feel like you're on this huge fucking island.
Yeah. And even in Jurassic Park when they first see the Brachiosaurus and they look down in that valley and there's a bunch of dinosaurs down
like,
there.
You can see on their face they're like in awe. Like they are like spellbound at how crazy this looks. I don't think anyone really seemed like holy shit.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh, fuck, there's a weird bamboo spider. That's, like, bigger than us.
Yeah. And, like, I also, with the creature design, I also went towards, like, Avatar. Because, like, Avatar had a bunch of creature design, too, but I felt like that felt like also way more inhabited in this fucking world that James Cameron created than this did. Granted, that was, like, an entire planet, but even then, like... As, like, the Na'vi were, like, walking through trees, you got, like, those weird, like, wispy jellyfish things that would fly through the air just randomly.
Yeah.
Or you'd have, like, fucking those weird dog lizard things or whatever. I don't know. Like, but, yeah, I could have used more creatures in this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it felt like they just presented things when they needed it to show up.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't really feel like... It didn't feel like a full environment. It just felt like... let's have like a set piece where this thing shows up.
Yeah. So let's talk about the overpacked cast because boy howdy did they have like a plus cast though. Like it's got Hiddleston, it's got a bunch of Marvel people. It's got Loki, it's got the new Captain Marvel, it's got Nick Fury, it's got freaking John C. Riley from freaking Guardians.
What a bunch of a-holes. Jesus, all the Guinness are falling out.
Ah,
Fuck!
kick it in there.
God
Well,
damn it. Why do I never even... Every time I use this fridge, I fuck it up.
It needs to be on something.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So it's got a pat cast, and I feel like really only one person is really used effectively, and it's the one that Chelsea liked the least.
Really?
And it was Sam Jackson. I felt like his character was the only one that, whether you liked him or hated him...
Yeah, Molly hated Sam Jackson in this, too. It's weird.
You're not supposed to like him in this, but I liked him in the movie because he was the only one that had, like anything to do. Like, you got what he was for. Like, it's set at the end of Vietnam where the war's called off.
I actually really liked his story arc in this.
I did too. And I don't think I maybe liked it as much as when I saw it, but then when you kind of stewed about it a little bit, I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, he just likes being in war. That's his fucking thing. Mm-hmm. And when it was taken away from him, he was bummed out. So when he gets a call that's like, we got another mission, he's like, let's do it. And when Kong fucks up his team, he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill that monkey. Yeah. Like, that was his mission, to do that.
Yeah. I took it as, like, he's a general who got his ass kicked in the war, and then he got called to his other mission to where he got his ass kicked again, and he's like, I'm not gonna let them get away with it like I let the Viet Cong get away with it.
Yeah.
Because they have that scene where, like, the first time they show him, he's looking at his medals, and he's like, what good is this?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I won these medals, but I still fucking lost the war.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't.
They abandoned the war, JT.
Yeah.
That was
okay. They abandoned the war. Yeah. But yeah, so he took that as like, I'm this decorated general, where it's like I'm like the MVP of a football team that just lost the game.
Yeah.
Like I'm nothing.
Yeah.
So then, going into this, where they go onto an island where Kong just fucks up his army. He's like, that's another Viet Cong. Like this time I can't let this go. I need
Kong.
we just
opened up a can
of worms.
Yeah.
But no, like the thing I like the most about this movie, it definitely feels like an allegory to like war being a bunch of people being led into a dangerous situation by the motives of a few.
Yep.
Because, like, even the opening scene where you get introduced to, like, the young John C. Reilly and the Japanese guy, where they are so determined to kill each other.
Right.
But then you get further into the movie and you find out that they became, like, the best of friends, like, almost like brothers even.
Yep.
And then seeing that again through Sam Jackson, where he's leading these group of men into this horrible, terrible situation just because he wants to. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no reason to kill Kong. No. They just need to leave the island.
Yeah.
But he's all about just killing Kong. That's all he wants to do. Yeah. And he's putting all of his men in danger just to do it.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like it's a total allegory towards, like, war being this horrible, horrible thing just driven by the motives of just a guy that wants to do it.
Yeah. There was actually a good line in the movie that I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was like something along the lines of there wouldn't be any war unless you make your own enemies or something along the lines of that. And like I thought that was like a good allegory for this movie as well. Like they wouldn't even made an enemy out of Kong if Sam Jackson wouldn't have tried to like make an enemy out of Kong.
Well, it was all done through the scientists because they were the ones that they wanted to awaken these creatures, so they were the ones that dropped the bombs to to bring them out, and then Kong was just like, "You're fucking my shit right now."
Oh, was John Goodman in this movie? I forgot.
Oh yeah,
he fucking is in it for like 3 minutes.
There's like the only thing that I liked. There was like one scene that I liked John Goodman in, and it's his like speech with, or like his confrontation with Sam Jackson.
When he's sitting on luggage?
Yeah. And they're like having that talk. Like that was cool. But John Goodman did not need to be in this.
No, not at all. I thought he was going to play a bigger part in this, and I was kind of disappointed. Yeah. Like I forgot at a few points where he's not, like that he was even in the movie.
Yeah. There's only 2 people in this that have motives that are driven, that everyone else like surrounds themselves around that person and then like follow what they do, and that's Sam Jackson and John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
And John C. Reilly is fantastic in this, by the way.
Yes, he is by far the best.
This is like one of my favorite roles of his, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I've seen him in like more serious roles and stuff, and like those are cool. But he plays like this character is so complex. It is so much fun. Like anytime you learn more about him, you're like, now I want to know more. Like, because like, you see that scene in the beginning where, like, you're pretty much just, okay, so that's the young him, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it is, like, they do show that it's, like, during World War II.
Yeah.
And then, like, yeah, then they show that scene where he fucking is, like, standing over, like, that Japanese guy's grave, and, like, he's got the sword that, like, you watched him, like, try to kill him with at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then he's, like, calling him brother, and you're like, God, like, I almost kind of want to watch that movie. Like, I want to see their story.
Yeah.
Like, the way he, like, alludes to small things of, like, his life on this island, like, it made me want to watch that movie as opposed to this one.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought he was one of the best characters in this movie, and from the trailer, I thought he was going to be my least favorite. Because I thought he was going to throw off the entire movie, and in my opinion, he saves the movie.
Yeah.
Because, like, I heard some other review, too, that, like, somebody said, like, he seems like he improv'd his dialogue, whereas everybody else is going off a script. Yeah. And if he did, good. Because he, like, definitely had, like, moments of levity, which the movie really needed.
Yeah.
And a moments of heart that the movie really needed as well.
Exactly. Like, he actually has a story to tell.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason anybody else should be on this island. Like, John C. Reilly's stuck there. He has, like, a reason to go back.
Yeah.
Like, everyone else is just there because they're dumb, and they're like, well, I'm just gonna go because I'm a badass. And, but, yeah, but he is the one where, like, you want to see him get off the island, because he actually, everything that he talks about is, like, in, like, a loving way, where, like, when he brings up, like, how he talks about, like, how Brie Larson looks like a warm hot dog and a cold beer at a Cubs game. And, like, and then it's like, oh, that sounds like that's a really dumb line.
Yeah.
But then, like, he starts lovingly talking about them, and you're like, wow, that's a really nice compliment he gave her.
Yeah. Tom Hiddleston looking buff in it.
Like, okay, here's my thing. It's probably gonna be a very.
That's all I have to say about him.
It's gonna be a very unpopular stance. I don't think Tom Hiddleston's a good actor. He's good. I think if he's gonna be a good actor, he needs like a lot of direction, or just be a character actor. Because Loki, I like watching Loki. Loki is a good character.
Yeah.
But then like watching The Night Manager, it's a good show. I want to finish it, but I never get around to getting around to finishing it. And then watching this, like an epiphany came to me where I was like, the reason I didn't finish The Night Manager is because Tom Hiddleston is so fucking boring.
Uh-oh.
When you get Tom Hiddleston and you're like, be the cool guy.
Yeah.
It's like he has no motivation and he's just kind of doing whatever. And that exactly feels that feels like what he's doing in this.
Was Hiddleston in that one Guillermo del Toro movie?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Called?
Crimson Peak, I think. Yeah. I never saw it.
I didn't either. I was just wondering if.
No, I know. Like, but in the Night Manager, like, I wanted to like it so much, but I never got around to finishing it because anything that was Tom Hiddleston heavy, it's just, I don't know. He's just cardboard. Like, he's trying too hard to be cool that he forgets to act.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna blame that on the script in this because it wasn't just him that was the same way. Like, I felt a lot of people were just like,
but I don't
forgettable.
Know. Like, even though Brie Larson has nothing to do in this, I kind of liked her more than I liked Tom Hiddleston. Like, she had like this like bubbliness about her. She had
a stance that I like a political stance that I was like, okay, I can see that. It's interesting going in to this movie against like a Sam L. Jackson type character.
Yeah,
but that's interesting.
She had this bubbliness about, but she had this bubbliness about her where it's like I like her as a person. Like, Tom Hiddleston, when he was by himself and, like, trying to be suave and debonair, he just came off as, like, cardboard and, like, somebody told me to say this, so I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
And then, like, the scenes they gave him where he was supposed to be, like, look cool, just looked dumb. Like,
oh my god, that scene with the gas mask and the sword?
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure that's, like, a thing where it's like, hey, Tom, we want you to do this scene where you cut all these bats in half with a fucking sword. And he's like, no, I'm not doing it. So they put a gas mask on a stunt person.
Well,
and
I
it's
can see
such
that.
a dumb fucking... Because he puts on this gas mask, cuts them in half, and then takes it off again while the gas is still in the fucking air. It makes no fucking sense.
I fucking hated that part, because I'm like, this is so fucking goofy.
And then there's that other scene at the fucking bar in Vietnam where he fucking beats the shit out of those dudes with a fucking pool cue.
Yeah.
And it's like shit where it's like, this is not believable at all.
No.
Like, he fucking baseball bats a pool ball into someone else's face after they throw it at him.
Yeah.
It's... What movie are you trying to make here? Like, that's goofy as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind if, like, they just needed, like, an expert, like, an expert ranger in the fucking movie or whatever. But to over badass him, like, the way they tried, is like, it didn't work for me.
And then the minute he gets to the island, and he just kind of, like, fades off into the background because John C. Reilly's chewing all the fucking scenery up, and he's just doing whatever he tells him to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
It's just like they wanted two good-looking people in the movie that you want to fuck each other.
Right.
That's pretty much the only reason him and Brie Larson are in this movie to begin with.
And even then, they don't even, like, make that really apparent. Like,
no, like, they're like holding each other at the end. That's like it.
Yeah, and I didn't even really want that to happen anyway, because I don't need that to happen in every movie. All the hot dude and the hot chick have to get together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need that to happen.
Like, they allude to it in certain scenes, but even those scenes are, like, painful to watch because it's just, like, it's all this forced dialogue where it's like, you can just definitely tell that, like, a producer was like, we need them to hit on each other like they're gonna fuck. It was, like, like, there's that scene in, like, the hole in the ship when they're heading there.
Yeah.
Where it's just, like, them, like, trading lines back and forth, and I'm just like... End this! Like, it's dumb. Like, I don't give a fuck if they fuck each other.
Right. I'm trying to look up what his name is here. Tony Kebbell is, like, one of the main soldiers.
Yeah.
He's the one with the son. Yeah. And I'm like, that storyline did not need to be in this at all.
It was a very forced. Like, it was like them trying to tug at your heartstrings. But even he's a terrible actor in this too. Where
I didn't like him.
You're just like, he's trying to have all these like heartfelt moments where he's like writing a note to his son.
Yeah. Because
everyone, like, that's an ongoing thing throughout the whole movie where it's like, oh, dear Billy, dear Billy.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, I don't give a fuck, man.
So you're gonna die.
Yeah, just die already. Just fucking die.
Okay, now let me get... This is my biggest complaint with the fucking movie.
Okay. The fucking movie.
Sorry. This movie is... Other than Kong, which I liked, like the actual monkey Kong, I thought this movie was all style and no substance.
Okay.
If you look at all the shots lined up, they're all fucking hero shots. Mm-hmm. Like, they're all trailer images. Is like 75% of the movie is just a trailer image. And, like, you know, like the shot where the helicopters fly in, and there's like the sun in the background, and Kong is a silhouette in it.
Yeah.
All the fucking shots are like that.
Yeah.
And it was actually driving me nuts because I'm like, this is exactly what Suicide Squad was. And the fact that they had to beat you over the head with fucking 70s music that you're like, remember, this is the 70s. Hey, this is the 70s, guys. Another thing that Suicide Squad did. Just jam-pack the fucking movie full of pop music. Mm-hmm. If the movie didn't do that, I wouldn't even have thought this movie was in the 70s. Because there's no 70s real dress in it. Yeah. Like, there's nobody using 70s lingo. It just looks like everybody's from today, except they have a CCR soundtrack behind them.
Yeah.
Do you disagree?
I mean, they are in a background or they're in like an environment where they're not surrounded by like culture or like
Yeah,
the culture
sure.
of the time. But like I don't know, like the music didn't bother me too much, but I can definitely see the whole like every shot is like set up as like a shot, like a fucking trailer shot or whatever. Yeah, I can see that, but I don't know, that didn't bug me as much.
Like it didn't like it. I like the music, which is a thing.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to argue about. But
Yeah.
they had to have like 20 fucking songs packed
I
in
know.
like a
Like,
10
they even
minute
had
period.
they even had that fucking radio set up when they're building that boat out of those two jets. Like, where are you getting that music from?
Yeah. It drove me crazy because like ever since Suicide Squad did that with like a ton of fucking pop music in there to use it as a crutch, I've been super aware of it in any other movie.
Yeah.
And like when like this movie didn't have a score in it for like 20 minutes and just used pop music from the 70s,
Yeah.
it was like sending off red alerts in my brain that I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So
Yeah.
I like came out of this movie thinking it was really fucking hollow, other than like a few high points, which was like Kong and like Sam Jackson. I didn't care much for the movie at all.
And John C. Reilly.
And John C. Reilly, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely those. I like those three elements, and there was like some banter between the soldiers that made me kind of like them a little bit too. Like the older, I can't. I know he was on Boardwalk Empire, but like the older white guy.
With the two grenades?
The two grenades at the end. I liked him in it.
Shea Wingham is his name.
Yeah, and like it's like him and like the other black guy that was kind of like he was friends with. Like they would throw lines back and forth with each other. Where I kind of like those scenes.
Yeah, they were okay. I like them.
Like there was like some soldiers that I liked kind of like their interaction with each other, and like even like them like kind of going back and forth about like this is kind of some fucked up shit that Sam Jackson's getting us into.
Yeah.
Like it made me like they had enough lines in there where it made me like them, and then when they would actually bite the dust, or like in that one dude's instance where he just like killed himself for no reason, it looked like.
Yeah.
It still bummed me out that they died. So like the fact that they, even though it was very small, it's still trying to establish some kind of emotion for these soldiers. Like I appreciated that. But yeah, other than that, there's a lot of stuff in here where like it's just like you know this person, so you're gonna like them. Mm-hmm. Like especially for Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston. Like I feel like they just like they walked through this island like they just thought they were dreaming. Like there's never an instance in there where I was like, they seem like they feel like they're in danger.
Right.
Like it's just like them walking through. Like she's supposed to be a fucking photographer too, and she's like doing like selfies and shit, and like taking group photos, and they're like walking through like this crazy fucking island, full of creatures, and like it's like, do you even know where you are? Like, are you high on drugs? Like, I feel like they just like picked up Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston like high on meth and just like
probably opium at this point.
Just dropped them on an island. And they're like, where are we? Look at the pretty trees.
Yeah, man. Kong Skull Island. It's got high points, but other than that, it wasn't my thing.
No, it was like it's one of those movies where I would put it on the background and just like enjoy like small bits and pieces here and there, because there's performances that I like and there's characters that I like, and I love Kong and all the shit that he does.
Yeah.
But there's definitely some stuff in there where I'm like, why?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like the one I would have it on the background.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't forcibly put it on. Like, if I just was on TV.
Yeah.
I'd, like, mute it and, like, do something else and, like, look up when Kong was fighting.
Yeah.
And then, like, oh, that's the end.
Like, there was, like, some like, weirdly brutal scenes in this where I was like, oh, shit. All right. Mm-hmm. That happened.
Mm-hmm. Looking Kong, like, turns that one skull crawler inside out by,
rips
his guts out.
Yeah, rips his guts out through his mouth, and then then the spider that goes through the person through his mouth.
A lot of stuff going through the mouth in this.
A lot of mouth violence.
A lot
in
of
this.
mouthy style
A
stuff.
lot of mouth violence.
So what would you grade the movie, JT?
Ah, man. Like, just coming off of, like, our Wolverine saga, like, I would definitely put it, like, on par with, like, kind of close to, like, what the Wolverine was. Like, it's definitely, like, I don't know, like, it's very middle of the road for me.
Yeah.
So I would definitely put it at, like, a B-, if not, like, right above a B-.
Oh, I'm going to go actually lower than that. I enjoyed it a
geesh.
lot. I'm going C- for this.
Oh, my God.
There was very few things that I
like
enjoyed.
a grade above Wolverine Origins.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. The movie didn't work for me. Didn't work.
I don't know. Like, it's definitely a run-of-the-mill blockbuster flick, but there was enough stuff in there where I was able to pull from it, like, where I had a good time with a few things. Like,
I had a few good time.
Yeah.
Like with Kong and some of the Sam Jackson and John C. Reilly stuff,
Like-
but
like,
it didn't save the movie for me.
Like, just, I was trying to, like, think about, like, just, like, basing it off of stuff that I've seen lately. Like, the Wolverine, there's that huge lull where it's just him and the one chick for the longest part of time where it's very noticeable. Whereas in this, there's like, moments, like, scattered throughout where it's like, oh, fuck. And then, oh, cool, action. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Where it was still noticeable, but it picked me right back up with some action. So that made me appreciate it maybe a little bit more than, like, the Wolverine.
I definitely like the Wolverine more than this.
All right. But, no, like, yeah, like, I don't know. There's enough stuff in there where I was able to connect with it that I dug it.
All right, right on. I can't disagree with you.
Yeah. Did you stay for the after credit scene?
I didn't know there was one, so I
Okay.
left, and I did.
It's nothing too big. It's just that it's actually kind of weird because it's just there's a scene where Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson are in the in this, like, interrogation room. They're like, "Why are we here? We promise we won't say anything." Blah blah blah. And then the black guy from Monarch, like the John Goodman's friend, like, comes in and he's like, "Well, we just wanted to let you know that we need your help on this team because there's more monsters than just Kong." And then they show all these, like, slides of, like, Mothra and fucking
I looked up what it was after, and it's like Rodan and
Godzilla and just trying to,
making
like,
the connection.
Yeah, yep.
Cave paintings or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't need to see it.
Yeah, it's nothing big.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd be interested in, like, a monster battle type as long as it's made right.
Yeah.
Like a Godzilla, King Kong, like, all their, like, foes and stuff. Like, I would be interested in seeing more movies of that.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're not a big fan of, like, the universes in general.
Right, yeah.
But I feel like putting together, like, a monster, like a giant monster movie universe, like, it's different enough where they can do something fresh with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and, like, this is one, too, where, like, if Godzilla can exist and King Kong, why wouldn't they meet each other? Mm-hmm. Like, you have two big, huge monster movies. I'm surprised that, like, Pacific Rim isn't crossing over with them either.
Shit.
Just mash them all together. They're all the same. Just fucking put it all together.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. But, like, when it comes to actually doing the mashup movie, like, I hope they kind of play it like they do in their old Japanese King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah.
They actually just fight each other. Like,
Yeah.
it's no other monsters.
Yeah.
Fucking, they're just out to tear each other's throats out, and they destroy, like, a city or whatever.
Yeah.
And one was the clear victor, but none of them die. Mm-hmm. Like, one beat the other one is kind of just submits and, like, walks away. And I was like, this is a shitty movie, but I like the way that it was done. Like, There was no other subplots to it. It was
Yeah.
just that.
Yeah.
And it is a shitty movie. Have you seen it?
No, it's like what, like 60 something.
It's very old. Yeah, but we
God.
had it on VHS at my mom and dad's house, and we watched the shit out of it when we got it. Yeah, it's bad.
Shit.
It's bad.
Well, no, I'd be interested into seeing like like this like cheesy B movie monster movie like made for like a blockbuster type budget.
But like, if it's gonna be that, make it like cohesive. Like if you're gonna go serious with Godzilla,
Yeah.
like I don't know what you're doing, and when you made like Kong Skull Island kind of like lighter and campier, like more of a B movie.
Yeah.
And I don't even really. It's hard to say this was a B movie type thing because it's had such a high budget, and there's like CGI and all that other shit in it.
It definitely presents itself like a B movie though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, kind of. I don't 100% agree with that, but yeah, I
Just the way that it's presented, it's like like the fucking like the cast is not B movie by any means.
no.
But they present them in a way where it's like, so do you want me to act badly? I don't know what you want from me.
But I don't even know if it's like bad acting. It's just like boring acting.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even. If I wanted it to be more campy, if they're gonna go that route, and like sometimes I couldn't figure out what kind of road they're trying to toe with that. If they're trying to play it serious or trying to be goofy, like I can't tell.
Yeah, like it's just like this movie's definitely like the definitive version of like a movie where I'm like I really hate this, and then they throw something in there where it's like I kind of like that.
Yeah,
like the natives that they have in this, I thought they were really cool.
They were interesting. You don't get to hardly know anything about them.
No, but like they look cool, and then they when they brought you into like the hull of that broke down ship, and they had all that artwork where like when you look at it just right, they have they have like an image.
Yeah.
Like I thought all that stuff was actually kind of cool. Like that was like some really interesting stuff. They didn't really do anything with it.
No.
But it was cool to look at.
Yeah.
Like there's some cool ideas in this. It's just that none of them really follow through.
Yeah. I agree. Well, that's Kong Skull Island.
Yes.
We'll see what this franchise brings in the future. We'll see if it makes its money back or not. We'll see.
I'm sure it's going, like, especially like in China. China fucking loves these big fucking.
Yeah. Also, do you remember like that other scientist, the Chinese woman?
Yeah.
That was there. Like you forgot that she was even in the movie, kind of thing.
I didn't give a shit. I've heard reviews where people are like, "Why the fuck was she there?" And it's what? Who cares?
No,
she just works there.
I heard somebody else say that like, I wonder if there's a different cut of the movie where she has a bigger part where she plays in China.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, so I was like, maybe okay, I can kind of see
but
that.
I've heard like reviews where they freaked out about like, why the fuck was she there?
No, I didn't freak out.
Who cares?
I could have said that with anybody else in this movie.
No shit. Like, oh my god, like, she's just there because she's Chinese. They want to appeal to the Sure, why not? If they're
it's not the only movie who fucking does it.
If they're lending money toward these big budget movies to like put them out there, why not? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like people
cross-pollinate.
People are fucking freaking out. Like, what is Chinese chicken here? Like, what do you have against Chinese? Well, what the fuck, man? It's weird.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you want to join us on social media, do so at Review Pod on Twitter. If you happen to be a Facebooker, do that Review Pod on Facebook. You can find us at our host site at reviewpod.podbean.com, but you don't have to listen to just there. We are also on a multitude of platforms such as Google Podcasts, Alexa devices, Stitcher, and Apple Podcasts. If you happen to be an Apple user, rate and review us there, because if you like the show, that helps other people find the show as well. If you want to write in, do so at reviewreviewpod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening again. We'll see you next time.
And we're off.